Hey everyone, Zach here, back today with a new story time. The first one I did, A Panda and His Hammer, where I accidentally got Sulphurous Hand of Ragnaros on my Panda Monk, did pretty well, and there was a lot of positive feedback sent to me through the DMs and through the like button, so thank you guys for that. So I figured, you know what, round two, let's go. This story time is going to be about the first time I tanked a Mythic Plus, and it was the last time I've done a Mythic Plus. So go all the way back to about 3 months after Legion launched. Everyone was already capped, everyone was doing the raids, everyone was getting their, Mythic Plus on, because it's a good feature to have. Well, newly found tank, me, because I was a DPS Demon Hunter until I tried Tank Spec. Fell in love with it. I get conned into doing a Mythic Plus group with my friend who was a healer. He worked a lot, had a lot of things going on, so he only had time to run like 2 dungeons on the weekends if he could make the time. So I offered to help tank, help brother out and whatnot. And this turned out to be my first mistake. So we get into a group. It's a +6, I think. Nothing too hard. And it was Vault of the Wardens, which was my favorite dungeon at that point. I really enjoyed the feel, the atmosphere, the bosses. It was just kind of fun, especially the mirror guy. So we get in there. I make it known, hey, I'm new to tanking, still working on getting gear. Everyone was super nice about it. They're like, oh, no problem, man. Like, we get it. Just, you do you, we'll do us. We'll get through it in time. So, just for a little backstory, timers as a gamer give me anxiety. I've just never been a fan. I get the purpose, but I've never been a fan myself. So we go through, we pull the first trash back fine. Everything goes fine until we get to the first mini boss. Not an actual boss, but it's in that room with all the statues, that wide open room. Person jumps down. I pull as tanks do. And we wipe. A little weird. Never had that happen before, but it's my first time tanking. Everyone brushes it off, calls it a fluke, if you will. So we get through it the second time, no problem. Move on to the first boss, and we wipe again. We actually wipe 3 times on that boss, and now is where things start to take the turn. Me labeling myself as the new tank. Instantly, everything's thrown at me. Well, this tank sucks. He doesn't have the gear. What the hell? All that stuff. It was starting to get a little personal, just at the first boss. But we managed to down him on our 4th attempt. So we cleared the trash in the big main area. We killed the Inquisitor, no problems, and we make our way to, I believe, the mirror guy. Mirror guy, super easy fight. It's actually my favorite fight in any dungeon to this day. I just love the mechanics of it. So we do that, and what happens next is we go to the big guy. I forget his name. It's been a while since I've done the dungeon, even though I'm standing right in front of it. So we get to that guy, and we wipe twice. Now, I don't like to throw blame on the people. And it's weird that I remember this dungeon run very vividly. Everyone just went back to blaming, the tank. Shit Tank, at this point, was my new nickname. People wouldn't say pull tank, they'd say, hey, Shit Tank, go ahead, try. Really abusive group at that point. So, I brush it off. I'm not there for me, I'm there for my friend. Me and my friend are in voice chat. The other 3 people, they're just, fucking around. So, I pull, we beat it, we finally beat it. And then we're gonna skip past to the last boss, to Felson. This boss is not hard. It's really not. It's a pretty easy fight. And I was tanking it rather well. Until we wiped because DPS dropped the light. And then I didn't get enough heals, and there were quite a few wipes in the... I'm not passing judgment. I caused a lot of wipes. I did. More than my fair share. But these wipes were not mine, for credit. And then I'm kicked from the group. after DPS drops the light and we die, and is what it is. So I'm kicked from the group. I'm running through my mind. Here's what's going on. Thank God. I literally said this in voice chat. Thank God that I don't have to deal with that anymore. And the person I was running a dungeon with, my buddy, was like, come on, dude, come back. I was like, I don't want to come back. I'm not going to subject myself to that. And his response was, dude, I literally don't have time for another dungeon run. Something to that effect. So basically, he just wanted me to come in so he could get his dungeon for the week, call it a day. At this point, and a lot of people might know what this is like, when you're in a group where everyone seems to be against you, talking shit about you. First, it's indirect, like, you're not referred to as your name, or you don't have the shit tank nickname. But it's just like the hunter, the mage, the druid, the demon hunter. And then they start calling the roles. Then they go by your name. And you know the entire time they're talking about you. But you don't say anything. You act like, you didn't see it pass by. You were focusing on your job, something like that, you know what I mean. And then it just gets so honestly hurtful in a way. No, these are strangers on the internet. You don't have to give a shit about them. They certainly do not give a shit about you. All they care about is getting that sweet, sweet loot at the end of the dungeon. And, I can't blame them. That's why we queue up for Mythic Pluses, right? So, at the point where I got kicked from that group, I was just so relieved. I wasn't sad. I wasn't happy. I wasn't angry. I was relieved. Because at that point, I was literally thinking of walking away from the game. It got to the point where if I'm this bad at doing a +6, which at the time wasn't very high, Karazhan had been out, other things to that equivalent. I believe TOV was out as well. Everything like that, it's not hard. I had the gear, I knew what I was doing. But if I couldn't get a group through a +6 as a tank, why am I even playing? Like, what's the point? So, this is eventually just the fast forward to the end of the story, and we'll get to the moral later. I get kicked. I get re-invited back from the guy who's been, like, harassing me and calling me shit tank. And I think he actually called me a few other choice words that, honestly, if I say on stream, or on YouTube, rather, I will get demonetized so fast, heads will spin. He whispers me right after he sends the invite, and he goes, "You're lucky I want loot." So I get back in. At that point, the timer had long expired, so only a couple of us were getting loot. And my ultimate revenge was going to be, hopefully I get something good and he doesn't get shit. There's that demonetized shit. So yeah, we go through. We don't finish. We wipe like 2 more times. He rage quits. I'm laughing because it's finally over. My friend wasn't too happy, but we did eventually, or he did rather, just queued up for another one because I was done at that point. So the moral of the story on this is, we're all just people, just trying to hang out, chill, jive with the gaming crowd. We just want our loot, but you don't have to, be rude to someone, over maybe even someone who explicitly says they're new. I think it was like my second week of tanking. It all started off with the Hallow's End event because I wanted quicker queue times, and it was just really fun to tank that fight. And I was like, I know I'm not good at DPS. I am terrible at pretty much any role you put me into. I have no idea how this game works. I just love it. So I was like, oh well, I'll try tanking because this is actually a lot of fun. When someone says they're new, that's a very vulnerable position they put themselves in, but it's also a respectable position. And I love that word, by the way, because they're letting you know, hey, we're not gonna run through this. This isn't gonna be a breeze. I might need you to help me, support me if you can. Big dick DPS this as fast as you can. Stuff like that. Because when someone says they're new, they're still learning all the kinks and the workings and the intertwinings of all their best in slot gear, all their talents, all their abilities. Because Demon Hunters, fun fact, the two trees are quite different, which is why they have different roles. So when someone says, hey, I'm new at this, don't call them a shit tank. My friend still calls me a shit tank. Even today when I told him I was making this video, I showed him the thumbnail, which I made, and then he was like, shit tank, good times. I was like, no, they weren't good times. No one likes to run a dungeon and be berated for the entirety of it. So that's just, we're a better community than that. And I've played a lot of WoW since, and I've seen a lot of awful people who do terrible things that affect not only your in-game life but your out-of-game life. I've seen people they've been DDoSed, they've been hacked, they've been doxxed. Even I was doxxed over roleplay. If you want to see that story, let me know in the comments below. Or just leave a thumbs up and I'll get to it eventually. But so much bad shit goes on, but there is so much good to counteract it in the WoW community. We just have to remember that this is a game. And we can't get too worked up about it. If you're in a guild doing Mythic Pluses, or a guild doing the Mythic Raids, for example, Mythic Raiding, whole different game. I'm not even going to try to understand how any of that works. But let's not forget, this is a game. It's supposed to be fun for everyone. If you're good at the game, each one reach one, man. It's very, I forget who said it. I love the quote though. It's when you get to that level of play where you do well, reach down, teach someone, bring them up to your level, and then they pay it forward by doing the same. And that's how you get a better player base on a skill level, on a technical level. So yeah, guys, that's story time. That's how I got the name Shit Tank. Before I get to the closing ceremony, this featured snack is smart food for when you don't want to be a shit tank. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, please do like, comment, and if you're not a subscriber, we're only 8 away from 100. We're getting bigger every day. And once we hit that 100, I'm giving away over 20 games. That's a pretty good chance of you walking away with something. It's going to be a subscriber-only giveaway, too. So you don't want to miss that. In the description below, new Discord server. If you like WoW content creators, there's quite a few of us in there. If you like my videos, I post them there before I post them anywhere else. It's a good deal. So guys, thank you so much for checking. Remember, hit that like button. It does help me out. Comment, I want to talk to you guys. And subscribe so I can get that giveaway going. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.